Hi, hope you're enjoying your day. Here I am at beautiful Crescent Head, which is part of the Macleay Valley, the seaside of it. And we're heading out today for a walk on one of the 5 headlands tracks that's in this valley. This is the one from Crescent Head down onto a place called Goolawah Beach. A new track, as I say, part of the 5 headlands walks that encompass Southwest Rocks, Hat Head, and a few other points, Goolawah. And so we're just doing a bit of an exploration as to this place, and I hope to put in some nice shots to give you an idea of just how spectacular this part of the coast is, like what I'm looking at now. Which is just magnificent, sort of mid-afternoon. So yeah, we're heading down this track. Don't think it's going to be too challenging. Actually, it looks like it's quite good. Yeah, this area, Crescent Head, is it's on the mid-north coast of New South Wales in Australia. It's become a very go-to holiday place for a lot of people out of Sydney. Newcastle, which is about 3.5 hours away, Newcastle, and about 5.5 hours to Sydney. And then if you head north, you're about 4 hours from Byron Bay, probably a bit less. And about 5 hours from the Gold Coast. So it's a very central part of the New South Wales North Coast. Renowned for its surfing, and I hope to put that in this video as well. Just where the people surf, one of the best point breaks on the east coast, especially for longboarders, but it has its days, for the short boarders as well. This is where we're walking now as part of a national park, so it's never going to be one of those points or areas that gets built out and destroyed by too much housing. But Crescent Head itself is it's only a small area compared to the environment that it takes in, and as such, the real estate here has got a little bit exy, as you would expect, like everywhere in the world, but everywhere on the east coast is experiencing these phenomenal growth of real estate. Only probably within the last 20 years, this was really well-renowned place for, let's say, alternate lifestyles of people that could come and live here in what was then old fishing cottages, very cheaply, and they could be out of work, so as to speak, and do a lot of surfing. So it was a really relaxed, simple lifestyle. However, as time's gone on, especially in the last 20 years, the real estate here is probably $1 million a house, $1 million a property on average. So it's quite expensive now compared to what it used to be. Still small change for a lot of people in the city, but this is part of the Macleay Valley, which is not exactly a booming town. It's got a Cobra Hats, which is something, but that employs X amount of people. It's got a pretty overcrowded council of public servants, a lot of teachers and ex-teachers. So yeah, so sort of government, the valley, is cattle farming, mostly cattle farming, and just beautiful landscapes, and not so much the touristy thing, but it's getting that way. Lots of, in this part of the world, Crescent Head, and in particular, here's something of interest. It's a grave site, or a site for somebody that's unmarked. It must have been somebody that was of significance back in the day. Here we go. Herbert Odell. Don't know what Herbert did, but he was he drowned off while fishing off the rocks at Crescent Head. So his eternal resting place is right here. He was born the 1st of September 1917, and he died at age 26. So that's a bit of a shame, but he's got some nice sights, and nice sights for us too. Beautiful, spectacular ocean sights. Okay, so we're moving, keep going. Yeah, so the valley is, or Crescent Head, sorry, has changed its mixture of surfers and alternate lifestyles, and some, locals that lived in the centre of the valley, or the business centre of the valley, which is Kempsey, used to live here as well. But it's changed to Airbnbs. Hello, mate. How are you? Good. It's changed to Airbnbs, which has just brought in filthy money. Changed the whole dynamics and feel of the town a little bit, but it's still a beautiful place, and can't be built out. This is one of the borders to it, so it's pretty safe. But yeah, it's part of the Macleay Valley, which is another real mixture of oddities, in that you've got a mixture of well-off retirees that sort of retired and moved up here and cashed in on the cheaper house compared to Sydney or Newcastle. Those that have completely lost it and gone into the nursing home, a bit like myself soon. So there's a few nursing homes, good quality nursing homes. Good support networks, and just a typical country area. It has its moments with it's a little bit so low socio-economic area, but it doesn't affect those like myself who just enjoy what it is, especially in nature and views, and immersing yourself in the valley itself. But as I say, my aim is to feature this Crescent Head in areas like this on the coast, but also take you hopefully on trips into the hinterland of this beautiful valley, because a lot of people miss that when they come to Crescent Head. They just see the ocean and the surf and don't explore just how beautiful and pristine the rest of the valley is. And it's only, everything's within an hour of here anyway. But as I stand here and look at this, it's pretty hard not to be in absolute awe of what nature's provided here. Just out here, quite often you'll see sharks, or certainly whales go up and migrate up and down here in the whaling season, which is getting a bit longer because there's more whales. It's like a highway here, and some think that I have the theory, myself included, that the increase in sharks, especially tiger sharks and maybe great whites, is the also can be related to the increase in whales, because some whales come up this way, they're sick or injured, or they have their little whales, and some get isolated from the pack, and of course that's sharks' bread and butter, pardon the rather detailed description there. So yeah, that's one of the reasons we could be seeing more sharks. The other is a lot more people in the water, but I tend to sort of think, you know, increase in whale numbers and increase in shark numbers correlate. Certainly 30 years ago, 40 years ago, you didn't see whales coming up and down the coast because they were being slaughtered by whaling nations, and as that's dropped off or been banned, we get the correlation of increased marine life. So this track I'm on is called one of the 5 headlands walks in the Macleay Valley, the Crescent Head one. Relatively new. It was carved out through necessity. Certain roads were blocked off by national parks that couldn't allow you to get in here in any other way, so they've sort of narrowed it down to a corridor, which is this. Could be challenging for people that aren't a little bit fit. I mean, we're going down at the moment. I hate to be talking to you if you're going up, because I think I wouldn't have any breath left. But it is a very pleasant walk, and just the scenery is something else, you know. It's just beautiful. And there's homes up on the top of that ridge that over the road, so they don't sort of, there's some up there, but they don't, you know, they don't look ugly. They're not taking up any significant view. Yeah, so highly recommend this walk. It's, as I say, it's pretty easy coming down, and I've had heaps of breath going back up. Maybe a little bit different, but if you come down here, I'll just go to this point here because it's getting a bit windy, and just down there is the beach itself. You can go for a quick swim, don't go too far out if you're on your own, and then come back up the hill. So yeah, here we go. This seat here is excuse me, from 5 Day Creek at Kamara, which is right up in the hinterland, and it's a huge cattle station producing heaps and heaps of beef. So there's a connection in this whole valley with you know, the sea, the river, and upriver. So what I'll do now is I'll probably go for a bit of a swim or something, and I'll be right back with you, but I think we'll be at the top of the hill and I'll be winding up this walk. So as predicted, I've come back up. It took twice as long to get up as it did to go down. It is challenging. So I'll just put this up here, which shows you the walk. It says 700 metres down, and it certainly felt like about 200 metres down, but about 5 kilometres coming back. I actually had to have a bit of a stop. But it's not meant to be, it's a bushwalk. And on behind, so that's the southern end that we just walked. The northern end is behind me here, and that is probably the same amount of distance and is equally as challenging, but once again those views. So what we'll do is move down back to where this track comes out on the northern side of what they call the Big Knobby, where the walk starts, and where the surfing is. See you in a minute. Okay, so up behind me is where we've just come from, up the top of the golf course, and we're now down onto the beach area, the famous point. Some people out surfing now, but this all here behind me here now, in the late 60s, early 70s, was just full of cars and surfers and just open land where people used to sleep in the night and go surfing during the day. Of course, it's all pretty regulated now, but you can understand why. It's a pretty special sort of place, and enjoyed by many. But this is primarily the reason for it to exist, really, is this surfing point here, which I'll show you here. It's endless, like a little machine. It goes along and it goes right down this point. You can get a ride all the way down that point, right in to the river mouth, which is just there. So yeah, it's this little part of the Macleay Valley called Crescent Head. It's certainly the most popular in terms of surfing, and a concentrated area for real estate and travel and holidays. So in our explorations we come across these things, but this is only one little part, and I hope to show you much more as we go along. So for today though, this is Crescent Head, and if you come back, subscribe, please subscribe, hit the bell to be notified when I've done one of these. Stick with us and we'll hopefully get better, and I can take you on the journey and the exploration of life in general on the mid-north coast. If you'd like to look back through my videos, we've got a lot in Bali and places I've travelled, but hope you enjoyed today. Keep the mind alive, look forward to getting to places like this and enjoying life. Take it easy, see you next time.